Hey, this is Zachlog the Great, and we are going to be doing something a little bit different tonight. We are going to be doing a library tour. Okay. For those of you who are curious, the um, the books you see behind me in my most recent videos are they are not a prop. They are real books. Um, it's not a green screen. It's not and it's not they're not prop books. They are actually my books, and I have read all of them, or almost, or few exceptions, which I'll point out. One of my supporters on Subscribestar um, asked for this video, and so I thought, seems like an interesting idea. Some people might like it. Depending on what you guys think, I might do more than one. Because honestly, there is a lot to survey here. And so um, I'm not going to show you my books I haven't read because those um, are rather in disarray. I think would be the good way to put it, and the rest of the room is pretty messy. Um, but we'll take a look at some of these tonight. We'll see how far I get, how long this takes, and I might do another set. So, here, let me get something in order here. Okay. So, first thing, most of what you see behind me during my videos is just my regular fiction collection. Okay. I have my nonfiction on a separate shelf. We may eventually get to that. But most of this is just my regular fiction collection that I have read. As I said, books I have not read are on an entirely different thing. Okay. And are rather messier. But now there is something different. The two shelves most directly behind me during my videos, however, are something else. And when I had the opportunity to, set up this room as my, kind of office/recording studio, I decided that I would make the two shelves most directly behind me in my videos something a little different. Okay, so here, let's see here. So first, this set here is actually these are the poems that some books by the authors that I've done poems from, that I've recorded poems from. G.K. Chesterton, whom I cannot say enough positive things about his poetry and other writing. I can think of a few points where I disagree with him, but overall, amazing writer. G.K. Chesterton, John Donne, Gerard Manley Hopkins, A.E. Housman, a collection of Rudyard Kipling. Let's see. I've read all of A.E. Housman, and you can see where I have marked ones that I want to cover. Someday I may get to read this one through, but that has not happened yet. A collection of C.S. Lewis's poems. If you didn't know, C.S. Lewis also does not just write Narnia and does not just write layman's apologetics. He also writes poetry, and frankly, I think he is an excellent poet. Edgar Allan Poe, The Complete Poems, which is a shorter collection than I thought. I would have guessed he wrote quite a bit more. Sir Walter Scott, another one I have not read the complete works of, or actually, I haven't read much of his poetry at all. I've read a couple of his novels. I like his historical novels. Robert W. Service. As you can see, I've marked a few of his for future performance on my channel. I don't know if I'm ever going to get through all of that. A couple of the plays of Shakespeare that I've taken clips from, that I've taken monologues from. Robert Louis Stevenson, Richard Wilbur, William Wordsworth, whom, based on my previous impression of him, I was rather surprised to find a couple of his that I liked. Anthology, Poems for Patriarchs, an anthology, the Penguin Book of Sick Verse. Uh, a collection of somewhat, grotesque and morbid poetry. Yes, Robert Southwell. Two of his poems that I've done, I got from here. And again, as you can see, there are more in there that I would like to do. The Bible. I have included this in a couple of my videos. I think this is actually the edition I more or less grew up with. Let me see the date. Yeah, the 1984 NIV, because they keep updating it, which I kind of don't like. I feel like if you update your translation, you should give it a distinct name so that I know, which one I'm talking about. Anyway. Also, I did not put that back up there. Also, I have several books here that were part of a book club, an online book club that I was managing a few years ago. And we would read one or two chapters a week and just have talk about what we read on a discussion board. So Hilaire Belloc, G.K. Chesterton, The Man Who Was Thursday. Again, cannot recommend it sufficiently. Corporate Cancer by Vox Day. The Divine Comedy, Book 1, as translated by Dorothy Sayers. Tucker Carlson's Ship of Fools, and the spine is somewhat damaged. That Hideous Strength by C.S. Lewis, which is the third of his space trilogy. That book club is somewhat in abeyance at the moment. I may restart it at some point. So, yeah, it looks like this is going to be more than one if I want to cover a significant fraction of my library here. This is book 9 in Jerry Pournelle's series, There Will Be War, which is a collection of, which is a series of military science fiction anthologies. And the reason this is here is because this was where I found the current poem I'm working on, Horatius at the Bridge. And so if you pay attention when I am recording poetry or when we are discussing that poetry, I will often have, if I can, the book that's the source of the poem right there. So that'll be over my shoulder, and you can see that if you pay attention to those videos. Here we have something else. These books are a couple that were given to me by one of my viewers. He had a collection of books he very much liked, and he didn't have anyone good to pass them on to, and asked if I would like them. So thank you again, Flying X-Blade. So we have the first and second Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling. Rudyard Kipling is fantastic. Read more Kipling. I am genuinely angry that I did not get to read Kipling's poetry. at all during my studies in English in high school or in college. Um, but there's that. Also, we have one of the fiction books that I have discussed with my friends. I mostly do poetry discussions. I have, however, occasionally recorded books, discussions on works of fiction, and I was going to put those up here. Um, Possibly not Sanderson's Stormlight books, because those are large and I would quickly take up the whole shelf. And then these ones here are actually books. This set here is actually some books by authors who were kind enough to join me for our discussions. I don't have the complete list because I don't have books by all of them. I should rectify that. But Tom Kratman, he joined us to discuss G.K. Chesterton's poem Lepanto. L. Jaji Lamplighter, aka Mrs. John C. Wright. We talked about the Danegeld, I think. I know it was a Rudyard Kipling poem, and I think that was it. And then several books by John C. Wright, who was actually the first special guest on my show, and very much thanks to him for that. So these are the books you see most direct, and then I have a new book, the New Book of Forms, which I should reopen and reacquaint myself with, and a rhyming dictionary because I still have some pretenses of writing poetry myself. I have done a few. It's been a while, but these are the books. So these are the books you see most directly behind me when I'm recording my videos. Let's see. And as you can see, I'm gonna go over do a brief survey one more time. If you guys like this video, if you find this interesting, you want to see more, and would like kind of more commentary about these, I can come back and do a survey in more detail. But I'll just do a scan here, and we will probably leave the rest of this for another time. But hey, if you like this, if you find this interesting and would like to see more, let me know, and we can definitely I can definitely come back and do this again. And like I said, go over more of this and go over and have a little more commentary on on some of these. So here. All right. Well, anyway, I hope you found this interesting, and God be with you.